What's going on, Faded Culture? It's your boy Sergio Barron, and we are back with another haircut tutorial. Today I got my boy Luis here on the chair, and I'm gonna be breaking down the steps on how to do a low skin fade with a little trim on top. I'm gonna also go ahead and add in a little bit of texture. I did switch up the steps just a tiny bit, so make sure y'all bust out y'all's notepads so y'all can take those notes as well. And also before we start, make sure y'all visit our store at fadedculture.com so y'all can check out some of the new merch that we just dropped. Like this t-shirt, the smoke t-shirt, we got it in 4 colors with the big FC on the back, and we also got the cap to go along with it. But other than that, guys, let's just jump right into this tutorial. Alright guys, so first I'm gonna go ahead and start by wetting the top really well. You always want to work with wet hair when you're doing the trim on top with shears, just because that just helps with the sectioning a lot easier than when it is dry. I am going to be using our very own Faded Culture shears. Y'all can go ahead and find these at fadedculture.com. We have the regular cutting 6-inch shears along with the thinning shears to go with it. And it has a Faded Culture metal card and the tension screw. I'm gonna go ahead and part out first that profile section down the middle. That way we can determine how much of the top we are going to trim away. So I'm gonna start from the back crown area, bring down that first line kind of to the side of his nose right here, comb that out the way, and do the same thing on the opposite side. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my first section starting from the back. I like to use the fine tooth side of the comb just because it helps give that grip a little more tension. I'm gonna come up, choose my length, and I'm gonna just match that to the front. And then just move along down the middle till you reach the front. Now just notice here how I'm not following the shape of his head and bringing it down because I don't want to take too much off the front. So what I'm doing is trying to imitate a square line up top and just keeping my fingers going straight across. That way the front results with a little longer length. So now that we've chosen the length down the middle, I'm gonna go ahead and now part it down the middle and then just work on one side at a time to even both of these sides to the middle. Starting from the back, I'll pull out my first section. You can see the little hairs over here on the left side, my left side, just match that. Comb that down, and then just move up about a finger in width at a time until you reach the front. Once you're done with this side, go ahead and part out the middle again, comb out to the opposite side, and repeat the same steps starting from the back again. Comb out a section, grab it, and then you're gonna match these small hairs to this. And just so y'all know, these shears are so sharp, you could cut down a tree with them. I actually cut one down before I got here. Oh, my face all oily. It's hot in here. Summer's about to get even hotter. Run and quit. I don't even want to be here. All right, guys, so now that I'm done trimming the top, I'm gonna go ahead and start laying down our guidelines to start our fade work. Before I lay down my first guideline, I also like to kind of shape out real quick where the lineup is going to be, just so I have a good reference of where I want my fade to be, if that makes sense. Now that the first line is set, I'm gonna go ahead and lay down the next guideline with the clipper lever all the way open. And I'm only gonna come up about a pinky finger in width from that previous line that we set. And all you gotta do is make sure that it flows along parallel to that previous line. And also I do like working on one side at a time, so you'll notice that I'm gonna just go ahead and finish fading out this side before moving on to the back and the opposite side. Usually, we've been using the 1 guard lever all the way open for the next guideline. Lately, I've been using the 1.5 guard. lever all the way open for the next guideline. I've been kind of liking that way, so let me know down in the comments if y'all try it and what y'all think about it. But just like before, we're only coming up about another finger in width from that previous line. Next, I'm throwing on that number 2 guard. Lever all the way still open. And I don't want to so much think that I'm laying in another guideline. I'm trying to already start blending out this top bulk that you see right here. So I'm gonna just kind of flick out a little at a time, but only keeping in mind that I'm gonna only flick up about a finger in width, if that makes sense. I don't want to take the 2 guard too high into where the head starts to round. Just make sure that you're continuously brushing down the hair back down into its neutral state. That way you know what's being cut and what still needs to be cut. Now you see we still have some bulk right there, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw on the 3 guard now. Still keeping that lever open, and then continue going up a tad bit higher, trying to blend out the rest of that bulk. Anything else that's left to blend out, like this little area right here, I'm gonna go ahead and clipper over comb it to finish blending it out. If you can see right here, we're left with these 2 guidelines that need to be blended out. You have that top one and that bottom one. We're gonna start by blending out that top one. It is gonna take 2 guards to finish blending out, but the first one is gonna be the half guard with that lever position at 3/4. And all it is, it's the lever position right in between the lever being open fully and halfway. So you're just gonna find that middle spot and position that lever there. Keep in mind that I do like using only the corner of the clipper, because if I use the whole clipper laid down flat, I'll end up not being able to control how much I'm blending out at a time. So just using that corner, I'm just kind of throwing in fine lines into this horizontal line so it can gradually blend out. And then just make sure you're keeping these strokes really short. You don't want to go ahead and take the fade up too high. As you can see, little by little, you'll start seeing that line gradually being blended out. Keep in mind that also, like, as soon as I lay down the clipper, it's not gonna take it out right off the back. So it's gonna take a few strokes so you could gradually see it blend out. Sometimes it takes a little bit of finessing of the clipper to kind of give the hair a chance to feed into the clipper and be cut. And then, like I said, it is gonna take 2 guards to finish blending out. So I'm gonna just keep my strokes short, and whatever little dark areas it creates right above is what I'm gonna come in with my 2nd guard to finish taking it out. So next, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on this 1 guard. And I'm gonna still leave that lever position on 3/4 and then continue blending out that line. Remember, just keep these strokes as minimal and short as possible. Since I do like working on one side at a time, I always leave a part that I don't fade out all the way. That way I have a line of reference as to where to continue the fade when I finish connecting the backside to the opposite. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and start getting rid of this first bottom line completely. And this one, it usually takes me about 3 to 4 lever positions to blend out. I start with it closed and then kind of gauge myself as I move up there if I'm gonna need 3 or 4. But, so here I'm gonna start with it lever closed. And again, I'm gonna focus on just this small area first before moving on. And again, just keeping your strokes as small as possible. So now I'm gonna just open it halfway, just continue blending a tad bit higher. And then I'll open it all the way. By this point, it should be real minimal what you're taking out, but you're just kind of pinpointing these little dark areas to finish blending out that first guideline. And once you're done with and satisfied with this area, or that first area that you started with, you can go ahead and move down to the next area. Again, starting with the clipper lever closed. You open it halfway. And then fully open. And then just continue moving down the line. Then we could go ahead and remove the rest of the bottom of the hair and shave it out. And then right here, what I like to do is as soon as I reach the top of this bottom hair, I'll flare out a little bit so that we leave a little faint line as you see right there. And that's gonna serve as another guideline to show you how high to come up with your electric shaver so that you don't shave up too high, creating hard lines up into the fade. As you see here, it might be a little hard to see on camera, but you should be left with a little faint line. So as soon as you reach that with your electric shaver, you want to release pressure from it so that you don't shave up too high. And you want to use these as they were a pair of clippers, using the corner of it as you get to the top so you don't create any harsh, hard lines. And then from here, it's a good idea to kind of take a step back, get a good broad view of the final look, and then kind of determine if you need any touch-up work. Right here, I feel like towards the front, it gets a little dark right here. So I'm gonna come in with the one guard lever all the way open and try to refine that area out. I'm also throwing that 1.5 clip with that lever all the way open and kind of come up a little higher right here. For me, it's kind of easier because I have experience so I could just look at a spot and kind of know already what guard and lever position I need to use. But in the beginning, if you're in doubt, go ahead and just start with the high guard that you know for sure it's not gonna cut, and then work kind of like a little process of elimination by just going down a little in size until you see the clipper actually doing some cutting. But you'll be able to build that eye more and more as you just run through experience and get a lot of practice in. So right here, we're gonna repeat the exact same steps, starting from right here, laying down my first guideline, following up by setting up the rest of the guidelines and then blending them out. So we pretty much finished this right side of his head. I went ahead and sped ramp through it because it was the exact same steps that we did on the opposite side. But here I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all how to connect the back side. And like I said before, I went ahead and left a little line of reference. I didn't fade all the way through here and over here, so that way we have some guides to show us where to connect. So I'm gonna go ahead and just connect that right there. And then you just follow through and repeat the exact same steps as before. I was the first line with the trimmer. Now go ahead and come in with the clipper, lever all the way open for that next guideline. Throwing on that 1.5 clip next, lever still all the way open. And again, just come up a little bit higher. Now his hair was a little shorter towards the back from his previous haircut, so it's real minimal what we're taking away here. But I still like to go ahead and run this process anyway, just in case any hairs are more grown out than others, and the whole process is as uniform as possible. And then next I will go ahead and throw on the 2 guard, but like I said, it was real minimal what I took out with this 1.5 clip, so I don't feel like I need to use the 2 guard. That's already pretty much blended out. We just gotta worry about our 2 guidelines that we have right here. For that top one, again, starting with that half clip, lever at 3/4. Then we just follow that up with that 1 guard, lever still at 3/4. Then we just have this last line right here. And again, starting with that clipper, lever all the way closed. And we open it halfway. And the back is usually more dense, so I tend to use more so 4 lever positions than 3 than we did on the side. So I'll open it to about 3/4. Continue blending a little higher. And then all the way open. I'm always getting asked too, how do you go about pinpointing dark areas? Like I said before, it's gonna take some time to kind of build that eye for it. But usually all you gotta do is take a step back and just kind of like look at it. Maybe squint your eyes, and then boom, there's one right there. Just go ahead and blend it out. Usually the little squint of the eyes, it kind of helps. I need a girlfriend. The lineup process, you're always gonna kind of take a step back, get a good broad view of the whole lineup before setting in your first hard line. Determine where you want the lineup to be and then go ahead and set it down the middle. And then once you're satisfied with that line, you can go ahead and move towards one side and connect it to that 90-degree angle on the corner. It does take time, especially when they have longer hair in the fringe, because you gotta keep combing the hair down and relining it up so you have a good solid line. Then once you're satisfied with that one side, go ahead and finish connecting the opposite side. We're gonna go ahead and load our Turkish razor, or if you have any other razor, go ahead and load your razor. If y'all do want to check out our Turkish one, we also have a swing lock one on the website at fadedculture.com. My preference is a Turkish razor just because of how thin the blade is. I feel like it's just easier to maneuver around all the areas that I am gonna shave. But go ahead and check them out at fadedculture.com. But I do like to snap the sides off just so that it's easier to insert. So then right here, you just insert it through the front and then you position it at wherever exposure you like. I like to kind of expose it this much and then boom, you're ready to go. There you go, fadedculture.com. And these blades are so sharp. These are the same razors that doctors use when they do
to circumcise you.
to circumcise you. I'm also using our very own Faded Culture shaving gel. Y'all can also find this at fadedculture.com. What I like to do first, guys, is start from the lineup, shave everything down first. That way you're kind of taking out most of that excess shaving gel at the same time shaving away any peach fuzz on the hairline. And then after I shaved out most of that shaving gel, now we can go ahead and refine the hard lines that you see right here and go against them. But remember, it's up to you to stop where that hard line is, because if you depend solely on the blade, you'll go ahead and push the line up further than what it needs to be. And then I'll go ahead and shave against the grain just to help that shave last longer than it would if you just shave down. And now that the hair is dry, add a little texture. So all I'm doing is, just as if I was trimming the top, I'm gonna pull a section starting from the back, pull it out, and just so that the hair's not so blunt, I'm gonna go ahead and add these 45-degree cuts into the top just to add a little more texture. If you're trying to thin out the hair, what you can do is keep your scissor a little more straight, and it helps kind of debulk the hair. But if you're trying to add texture, you go ahead and just cut more of an angle in there to add a little more movement into the hair. By the way, the enhancements are optional. You don't have, if you want that natural look, you don't have to add any enhancements. But if you do, I went ahead and just mix equal parts of water with hair dye, mix it into a little portable airbrush, and go ahead and spray it on with some cards. I am gonna leave all the tools and the products down linked in the description for y'all, as well as with the steps that I used in today's fade for y'all to go ahead and follow along that way. But now that we're done with pretty much the lineup and the fade, I'm gonna go ahead and just show y'all how I would style the top, how to bring out that texture on top. So I'm gonna first go ahead and re-dampen the hair a little before adding some of our clay. I could go ahead and find this clay at the same place. Find all our stuff at fadedculture.com. Get about a dime size of product, kind of make sure you work it really well into your hand till it almost looks like it disappeared. And then you're gonna wanna work it into the root of the hair. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use medium heat, medium airflow to dry about 80% of the top. And then once it's about 80% dry, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on the diffuser just because I don't want the air to push into any particular direction. I kind of want to give it that textured look, but I am gonna switch the temperature to cold air. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for this haircut tutorial on a low skin fade with some texture on top and some styling tips. I hope y'all were able to learn something from it. If y'all did, please let me know down in the comments what y'all did and didn't like about the video, maybe so I can better help y'all on the next videos to come. Also, feel free to let me know what other videos we should drop on this channel for y'all. Also, before I end this video, I just want to thank everybody for the love and support that we've been getting. We just crossed that 700K subscriber mark, so we do plan on doing a giveaway. I want to hear some suggestions on what we should give away, so go ahead and leave that down in the comments, and then we'll go ahead and call out the details on the next videos to come. But with that being said guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure y'all check out the rest of the video tutorials that we have for y'all on this channel. My name is Sergio Barron, this is Faded Culture, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next video. Peace.